Welcome back.
Welcome back to
Welcome back.
Penis
What the fuck did I
Bumps.
start? Jesus Christ.
Welcome back to Destiny, the live streamer. That's me. Anyway,
Yo!
welcome back to
I-
Voss, the live streamer, and
I-
female. That's me.
Wait, which shitty annoying debate live streamer are you guys?
No, thank you is Nick Fluentes because
Because I'm having sex with May.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, okay, but like the thing. Okay, Lily, speak.
I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Oh,
Okay, so the thing with me was specifically media. I can't say about other things because I'm very much like. I very much suppress a lot of my emotions because a lot of them are very inconvenient and I don't want to feel them.
yes, me too.
And I have a very unhealthy relationship with a lot of my emotions. But when it comes to media specifically, I always just know why I like things. Like it's obvious why I like anything. You know, even if it's something that fucking that is like, you know, I probably wouldn't like for instance, like I don't know, like the reason I fucking like cheesy transcore and like crunkcore and shit like that is because of a lot of the synths they use is very pleasing and it's very fun. Like those are very simple reasons, but it's like I know exactly that's why I know exactly why I like all the media I do. It's just very easy for me, I guess.
I think what you just said actually is a pretty good argument for No's point, even though I was going to come at it from a different perspective. Is that if you have simple answers to why you like things, it may not be like the closest understanding that you could have, but it is an understanding nonetheless. And sometimes things are like that simple. At least to a degree. And so I think that's actually a good argument for No's point, because a lot of the time understanding why isn't even that difficult if you just slightly apply yourself. But
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to, in response to what No was saying about communication and language and like art as a form of language as it had preceded language. If we're presupposing that, which I think you have a pretty good argument for that, I would like to add in that everything is art at that point.
Yes.
And if that is a mediator for intelligence, then there are so many different kinds of intelligence that, like, to talk about intelligence as a broad concept would be.
Yeah, I don't mean intelligence. I mean abstract thought.
Okay.
So like a concept such as left of the red wall or beneath the cabinet, something like that, like something basic and abstract like that.
Mm-hmm.
There are no other animal can understand something like that except for humans, as far and I don't know, probably dolphins or some shit.
Okay, you know what I think this is. You know what I think there's even a disagreement.
Oh god. What?
I think that like one of the largest common, like me and No share a lot of things like in common, but I think one of the largest commonalities between me and No is that we just kind of react to everything with like being afraid and confused, right? When something's happening, I think the like intuitive reaction for both of us is just to get like really scared and really confused at what the fuck is going on, right? But I think like someone like Plunder, again I might be wrong, but like when someone like Plunder sees something that they like, right, they go like, okay, this is something I like. I don't have to be scared and confused anymore because I have this one thing that's like a solid thing, but like that type of thing that doesn't really exist for us, you know.
Yeah,
Because Plunder is a good person. Because Plunder has something that we don't, which is being a naturally good person. Plunder is naturally a good person.
I don't think I'm
For me, every opinion I have to worry about whether this is something that's bad.
No one is a naturally good person. Like,
Plunder is, and you are.
No, I'm not. I'm not a fucking naturally good person at all.
No, and honestly, like, neither am I. It's something I've had to work on for a very long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lily knew me when I was kind of a shithead.
but like at the time, your environment and the things that you were going through, a lot of that was just confusion. I don't think that was you like intentionally.
Well,
I don't think you.
Most people are just confused about how to like how to treat others, and a lot of people don't learn.
I still think you ought to justify why you like things to yourself. You don't have to have it super concrete in a fucking hour-long analysis video where you have a fucking essay written out where you can clearly explain to every human being, where like everyone will understand exactly why. That's overkill. You don't have to do that. But you should understand yourself why you like things, because if you don't, then you might like things.
I wouldn't say that you should, but I think you can get something out of it.
Yeah, yeah. I find it to be.
Can I rephrase No's point?
Yes.
Can I rephrase No's point? Like someone like Plunder, right? Someone like Plunder is always the first person to understand what they're doing, right? Plunder is probably like almost in most situations at least the first person to understand what they're doing. However, with me and No, we're the last person to understand what's going on.
I feel like. Oh, sorry.
What if the feelings themselves? What if we assume that the feelings themselves are a form of art, and as such, that's also a form of language. So while you can't verbally communicate or justify it to yourself in language, it's you have an understanding of what it is that makes sense to you. I
think you made a logical leap there that doesn't make sense. Like the feelings themselves can be a form of art, but that doesn't make them a form of language.
Wait a minute. Now I'm really confused.
Language is a different thing from language. It's like how.
I think I missed a word somewhere.
Okay. No. Lily is saying that if you let yourself feel things, it's equivalent to putting those things into language.
Yeah.
I disagree, but maybe for you.
Because to put them into language is a process of translation. Like, I know that I'm never going to be able to fully communicate.
That's of course. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Okay.
I
forgot the broader point I was going to jump off.
It's not necessarily putting into language that's the problem. Like, language is just language and abstract thought and like complex thought is the same thing to me.
So doesn't like almost everyone know why they like things then?
No, they don't.
Okay. Again, same problem. Like fucking when I understand both of your perspectives, right? But like I think Lily, I think you're kind of assuming that no Frankie knows what he's feeling at any point in time.
Yeah, this is true. I do not know what I'm feeling at any point. I have to literally think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing with me though. I am always thinking about every single sensation I'm always having at every time, and I can't turn it off. That's not something I have to try to do. It's just something I do. It's just how my brain works. It's like I look at something and I analyze it. I'm always analyzing every single thing ever at once, and I can't ignore anything, which is why I'm always hyper and fast. But it also is an advantage because I know exactly why I like something / why I'm doing something. Is because I'm always in that analytical mode. When I feel something, I'm always I know what I'm feeling, but then I'll be like, well, it's not logical for me to feel this way, so let me stop feeling this, which I have to kind of get over. But that's the disadvantage. That's the major disadvantage, though.
I also had to go do some stuff. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Feelings are weird, and everybody has them, even if you don't want to.
Yeah, I think the thing with me is I just kind of, I don't know. I feel like a part of me just like, I don't remember what I was gonna say. I think I just decided that I was fucking. I think I got really into Little B, and I decided that I would just let it happen.
Yeah, me too.
That's like okay.
The thing about like most things I make is a lot of it is like subconscious. Like it's like
That's
very
fine.
like just like
That's fine and good. I don't have problem with subconscious type of shit. I love Dadaist art. I love surrealist fucking Salvador Dali shit, right? But that is like that. The art can exist on one level, but understanding why you like the art, if you only understand it on a subconscious sublinguistic level, that is a huge limitation on your own potential.
Why?
Because language, having the words to describe something, is literally understanding something. It's not like having the words to describe something allows you to understand something. No, it literally is understanding that, in my opinion.
How would you define understanding?
Okay, so for example, if you like some piece of art, let's say, like, I don't know, since we're talking about surrealist Salvador Dali, let's say Un Chien Andalou, right? If you just look at that and you just absorb it on purely and like you're just looking at it without thinking about it linguistically, that's cool, that's fine. But if you look at it and you think about it linguistically and you think, oh, I like this because, then you're no longer just looking at the art. You're looking at yourself and you're making new connections in your brain and you're growing as a person, which is really what art is all about.
I think all understanding is inherently a leap of faith. Like I think there's always a degree to which you can't really know. And
no, I agree. I don't think for a second that I don't agree.
We
with that.
only
I
ever
agree with that,
approach the
100%.
truth. We never arrive at it.
No, I think this is where like before, I think people weren't giving you enough credit, but like I think this is where you aren't giving other people enough credit, because most people can draw like inherent implications from their feelings. Like most people can feel something and then just automatically, without even having to focus on it, inherently draw like an implication from what they're feeling.
And I also think this is has to do
I don't think that's true. I mean, no, I think that's true, but I don't think it's true in the same way that I think it's true.
I think okay. Here's how my brain. Another example of my brain works. I know exactly why. I may not be able to.
Please.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think you can extrapolate implications behaviorally. Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead. Like through wait, no, actually, like in how you act in the world, that's extrapolating implications from the thing that you understand subconsciously, like without direct language. But okay, go ahead.
Okay, what I was gonna say is, I think in images and sounds before words. Because I'm not that lexical. I think that's the thing.
That's
I'm
everyone.
not a very lexical thing. Yeah, okay, but like I can understand it through those sounds and images, not necessarily like their words is like it's like the words are there a lot of the time, but not primarily.
The words are there, but they're not like full sentences. They're just like
I know what you mean. And in some sense, that's even a deeper understanding. In some sense, that's even a deeper understanding than lexical thinking.
Yeah,
However,
I have yeah.
I don't know for a fact, because I can only see my own brain and I can't see anyone else's brain. But from my own brain experience, even though completely makes sense to say that might even be a deeper understanding, to understand something completely, like a David Lynch movie. You can't explain logically what happens in the plot, but on an emotional level, on a visceral level, you feel it. You feel what's happening. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, it is I'm not even gonna say one of. It is the most important or powerful part, where you can sit there and think to yourself linguistically about why you feel a certain way, that viscerally and emotionally.
That feeling can be linked to other feelings and other situations that you understand.
I think it has a very big importance. I do not know if that is the most important inherently.
No, I think people are just different in this regard.
Yes. Yeah. At this point, we're all just talking about how we think differently. That's this conversation now.
We've all come to an understanding about how we feel. I'm gonna go get some water, and then I want to come back and I want to talk about autism and guilt. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yes.
Okay. God, this is such a fucking retarded.
No, this is good. This is good.
This is the good shit. This is the real shit that really make you feel shit.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this, but I also was getting frustrated because I ended up making points that were more dumb than my actual points, because
No, I know. I understood what you meant the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, I just kept forgetting things. Like you would say something and I would be like, oh, I really want to respond.
I am so fucking drunk right now. None of my points are being good. It's fine.
Also, I'm also ridiculously drunk, but I was still able to reverse engineer your false relates. It's just like I really like in your case specifically. Like I think a lot of the reason why you're like often, I'm not gonna say always, but like I think a lot of the reason why you're often scared to like speak your mind is I think you're just not used to getting the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying that I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, and then I'm gonna try to understand what you think and why you think it, and you don't worry. Yeah.
Thank you.
Again, I think a lot of this comes down to I used to be a bad person, and so I need to understand why I think certain things, because I used to not understand why I think certain things, and I used to think wrong things that were bad.
Yeah, and you know, I really want to say this, like, no, the fact that you understand that about yourself and you're working on that is, like, one of the things that I'm like, wow, he's a really cool guy, because he's like...
Yeah.
Okay, and here, I think, okay, now I've done some fucking self-therapy. Here's probably the real reason why I think why my ideology is what I think. Because I had to do it, I am just constantly worried that other people aren't doing it and they're not being...
Right. And like, you know, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are just ignorant of the way they feel and the way that they act and how that makes people feel.
Not even necessarily how that makes people feel, but why they think certain things. So yeah. I think the classic example here is racists.
Yeah.
Like, a racist person might have all sorts of justifications for why they have that racist view. Like, oh well, I you know, it's just that I think stronger immigration is better economic policy or whatever. But if you really press them, like if they actually have to really explain their views, in the end, it's they have all of this abstraction, but it's really just a justification for they just want to hate black people or whatever, right?
Yeah. It's telling a narrative to yourself. It's not true understanding, or at least a closer approximation to true understanding.
Yeah, and that's
believe what they're saying, but in their hearts, the subconscious motivators are there.
Yeah.
But I want to go full pragmatist and make this one last point, is that I agree that like quote unquote justifying these things can be important in a material sense, depending on the kind of person you are and how many thoughts you have to work through. But I think with different people, the sort of like non-linguistic understanding that you have of it, that okay, this feeling is real and I feel this feeling from this art, like I think like unless there's a material reason to make the change, to try and translate those things linguistically, then it's up to the person to decide if they should or shouldn't. I think in pretty much all instances, it does improve yourself, but the question is, what kind of person needs to improve themselves in that way, and what will they get out of it?
Yeah.
I like with me, there were absolutely things that I needed to think about that were causing distress in other people in my behavior that I didn't understand, but I wanted that distress to not happen, and I wanted to be like a cool person to other people because I liked those people. And so like I broke those things down, but at the same time that I was doing that, I wasn't also breaking down why I liked the art that I liked, because the feelings that were elicited from that art were real enough for me that there wasn't like a material impact on me enjoying that or not enjoying that. My focus was directed towards other things that did have one. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and I especially like what you said about like it doesn't mean they don't believe what they're saying. I think that's very true. I think that's very important as well.
Also,
but I am very Wittgenstein in here in this aspect, in that I will just quote Wittgenstein: "The limits of my language are the limits of my world." Right? I believe that what you can explain / conceive of linguistically is literally the limits of what you can perceive. And I know it's kind of an extreme take, but I do agree with that.
Makes sense. I think.
I think this is the key point. That you have to remember that all of this shit is completely arbitrary, and not there is not a reason to quote unquote expand the limits of your world in every possible direction. You don't have. That's up to the individual. Not everyone like. It's not inherently good or bad. It's just a choice.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, depending on who it's applied to. But I will say at the same time, like my inner world has always felt very, very vast. The reason why I've tried to get good at explaining things, excuse me, is in order to translate that like for other people, and because sometimes I think the process can be fun, but for the most part I just find the process of explaining things immensely frustrating, because like I know that the emotions that I feel feel about that thing are very, very real, and they feel incredibly vast and specific. Like, and like I can feel like a more distinct emotion, depending on like even the smallest thing in an environment changing. Like and that to me is incredibly real. Like it would be real without language. Language is like this it's like in order to interact in the world in a way where I am understood. It's like everyone sees me as though I have an amputated leg, because I can't seem to be able to put these things that make complete sense to me into language. But in order to make sense to them, it has to. But like that's not. I don't think that's my world being more limited by not being able to do that at the time. I think that's other people not. That's me not being able to communicate my world to other people to translate it.
Yeah. See, the thing that makes that good is that.
Let me just point that I'm desperately trying to make.
Yes. Go.
It ties into what I was saying before about autism and guilt, which is that for a very long time I had the belief that like, okay, if I can't put this into words, I'm basically retarded, because if I can't materialize it, then it's not real. But it is. Do you feel me? Like
Yeah, I agree.
The things that are inside like are real. No. Right. So because like you were saying about people, I totally feel that about like feeling like you don't have a fucking have a leg, and I feel the same thing. Like it's fucking. Now I'm running into the same problem I was trying to explain.
Okay, I can explain it. I've been sitting here for fucking 10 minutes with the ability to explain this. There's no fucking way to jump in. Okay, so the thing that someone like Lily or Plunder or Starman feels, right, is that they have so many thoughts, emotions, and impulses at any given time that there is no possible way that they could ever possibly like even fucking start beginning to verbalize them or explain them to other people, because there's just so much fucking shit going on in their brains at all time, right? Plunder is fucking having like 10 thoughts at the same time. 3 of them are watching an anime, 2 of them are fucking composing a fucking song in her brain, right? Plunder is having fucking 10 thoughts at the time. Starman is fucking just like going around and like fucking trying to fucking the connections between fucking like Kanye West and Lil B and like fucking everything that Starman has ever fucking interacted with, and he's fucking in his own brain, he's putting all of those things fucking together and creating like this fucking comprehensive.
I need to piss.
Okay. Fuck no.
Good content.
I'm bad at no thank you now for having to stop pissing, you fucking faggot.
You know, like I said to No earlier, I think the thing that marks, good in your brain is when you have a desire, not your ability to, but when you have a desire to understand more and broaden your fucking horizons, and you want to do that. It doesn't fucking matter like if you can or can't. All that fucking matters is that like you want to be working towards that more. And that's why I think all of you are good fucking people, despite what you all say, is that you all like just want to like be, even if you don't want to fucking admit it, some of you like you just want to like be better and be cooler every day.
Yeah.
That's why I love you guys.
We love you too. I love you too.
Also, sorry, I was meaning to say this.
Yeah.
I love you a lot, and you're a good friend, and I love you a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I also
Look, I just want no thank you to stop making fun of me for liking broken side.
No, like I said, like okay, I think this comes down to like I just don't agree that the whole language thing. I just don't agree.
Language is weird.
I'm gonna finish my point when no thank you comes back, and then all of you will understand. All of you will understand because I figured out the solution, but no, it's here, so I can't fucking
That's
explain
the thing,
it.
right? Like language isn't a science; it's a fucking art.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to say, I think the things that make a good person, presupposing that such a thing exists, is good action. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't matter how you felt or how you do feel, or like what like if you have the impulses to do bad things and you choose not to because you've decided to, I feel like that makes you a better person than
I agree.
implicitly or intuitively understand that the right action is what you should do.
Lily, I have to thank you because that's the last piece I fucking needed, except not in the way that you intended. I will use this fucking wisdom you have given me right now because you're smart and you're Moe, and thank you for bringing more Moe to Crafts. The Crafts needs more Moe, and you are Moe. You're always Moe. You can't stop being Moe. Thank you.
Exactly.
Make Crabsack Moe again.
Mama.
Get crunk, ski, ski, get crunk, ski, ski, get crunk, ski.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, no, thank you came back
It's
just in
time for the next episode. It's time for the next episode.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Next episode.